from markofapproval.com. And I'm Tanya Sutherland, and I'm your host today. And I'm really excited to talk to Mark because he's one of our 20 fantastic speakers we've got at my VA Summit coming up at the end of the month. And stay tuned here because we'll show you how to get a free ticket to it later on in a few minutes. But I just want to talk to Mark a bit. He's a WordPress web developer who geeks over coding and new apps. He's been our web developer, I don't know, feels like 15 years or more, but it's probably not that long, Mark. But he has a lighter side too. He's just not a code geek freak type person. No, he enjoys conversations with his friends and playing with his defiant cat, Prue, which maybe you can tell us a story about Prue later on during the mix here. Who knows? Mark is at Mark of Approval. Let me throw up his website here just so you guys can all see it. And I'm excited to talk with Mark today about his presentation. And maybe, Mark, that's what we'll start about. What are you going to be presenting at VAVs at our 20th season?
Yeah, sure, Tanya. And thanks for having me. I'm going to be talking about how to create a website that will sort of resonate with your clients, your proper client, the one you want to target. So I call it client attracting website. It's just about, putting your best foot forward in terms of you talking to the right person.
Yeah, and it's really important to have that client attractive website, have your message down pat and everything, because that's our biggest marketing area. One of the biggest ones we have is our website. That's our storefront, right?
I agree. Yeah.
And so tell me a little bit. So that's what Mark's session is going to be about. And obviously, if you haven't already picked up on it, he is our WordPress expert. He knows it all about that. And do find him at markofapproval.com. But let's journey into a little bit of how you even got, what do you do in your business? Tell us about that specifically more.
So what I sort of started niching down a little bit more. So what I do is as people probably know by listening, I work with WordPress, but I started getting a little more granular in terms of helping people who run things like membership sites or creating like funnels. So I do that all within the WordPress platform because WordPress has a lot of great tools for that. And I more or less help them with the marketing from the side of tech. So I don't always worry so much about this. Well, I do worry about the strategy, but I guess what makes me different is I'm very nitty gritty as well. So I go from here down to here. And I help people who have membership sites or people who want to sell products online. I will occasionally, as you know, when you niche down, you always get people on the outliers. So I do get the occasional e-commerce clients, which are actually quite more profitable, but actually the timeline's a lot longer. So I guess, that sort of stuff, tech. And I guess knowing code is really helpful because I understand WordPress from the inside out. And I also can program and fix glitches and server errors. So it's always a benefit to people.
Yeah. And you're a digital consultant, but you've got us out of some code issues many times, right? In fact, let me just do a little rave here, Mark. With all the Google page experience coming out and stuff, we were real crappy on that. I can't remember how low were we. We were really super low with that, like 30s, 40s. I don't know, somewhere way, way down there out of 100. And I hired you to get us up there high. And we are like, as I last looked, at 99% out of 100 for our Google page experience, which is going to be really important when it boils down to when they start really pressing in with search engine optimization and different things like that. So I'm thrilled to be up there, and thank you so much.
You're welcome.
But definitely. So you are a web developer and a digital consultant. How did you ever get started in that, Mark? Like, what brought you to that point that, hey, I'm going to open up a virtual business doing this? Like, whatever got you going there?
It's actually a very interesting story, and I was kind of telling it on a podcast I was doing just last week for Sarah. It happened basically when I graduated from my undergraduate degree in college. I really did not want to pursue teaching because I kind of had a shift about how I saw high school students. No longer people you could actually teach, but kind of like people who resisted being taught. So I remember my father was always a programmer, and I was lost in my own identity about 2003, I think it was. I remember going into a bookstore then called Borders. Now, I don't know if you had Borders in the States or Canada. I think it was global, but now it's kind of all online because everything's like, but it was really this big bookstore where it had 2 levels, coffee, all those sort of things. And I picked up a book on actually Java programming of all things, because that was my father's programming specialty. Just to be clear, Java and JavaScript are 2 different things. JavaScript's really ECMAScript. Java is actually a programming language, it's different. So I read that, a bit boring, but I finally got into it. Dad helped me with learning programming. I took a lot of online courses, which is very important. And, fast forward to about, I think it was 2010, I was really good at programming, but for some reason in 2007, the internet marketing bug hit me. And I thought, oh, this looks interesting. And I didn't realize until 2011, hey, I'm a programmer. And then I looked at a site, then it was called Elance. I don't necessarily recommend it now. Now it's called Upwork. I actually got my first few gigs there, and I got a really good gig there as a programmer by another Australian, I guess you could call him client, and it all went through like Elance at that stage. And, that was obviously caused our government head spins. I mean, how do we manage this, You're getting paid by Australian client in US dollars from a US. But yeah, that's how it started basically. And from there, it started becoming more consultative. In my talk, I will talk about the importance of, positioning and consultation. But I also want to say that sometimes it's not possible to start at the consultant. Sometimes you have to do the hard yakka and be the freelancer or virtual assistant first. Mm-hmm. And, a few hard knocks, getting my feet wet before I started being able to understand the bigger picture.
And I know you've been in our network for years, Mark. Yep. It's important, like in our network, virtual assistant is just an umbrella for term type thing for everybody, from a web developer to anybody servicing clients, administrative, technical, or creative, can all hang out with us virtual assistants, right? But it's important to have that family unit of VAs. Don't you find, like, over the years that you've met a lot of friends? And hi, everyone in the Facebook Live. I see you there. I want to find you on here so that I can read who's saying what. I see Marie's there, Mohammed, and I've seen Gina, and there's some others that say Facebook user and stuff, but do type in there, say hi. If you've got a question for Mark, let me know, or for me or whatever, and we'll get it answered for you. But Mark is our WordPress digital consultant expert today. So excited about him. But group community is so important to getting you through those. Not just it's easy to be a digital consultant and VA or whatever when things are going well.
Yeah.
But when things are going up and down, that's when you need that community. Don't you agree?
Oh, I was just going to say, community's been the most important thing to be. In fact, joining VA Network was one of the most, best investments I ever made in my business. And this is not really like, sucking up to you, Tanya, but I mean, the long-term relationships I've built with people, even in this room, like Marie and Gina alone.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole network I have now is all thanks to that one step of joining your network, all the friends I've made, the relationships, people I've helped, people who have helped me. So I can't say enough about having a community as opposed to just trying to do it alone. And I think that's very important. In fact, I remember the forum was one of the most important assets for me when I started out. And I think I posted so much there that you even asked me to be a moderator at one stage, because I was giving and asking. So I wasn't just, boasting. It was actually asking and giving, which is important, I think. It's networking, just be not necessarily vulnerable, but just, give and take.
Yeah. And yeah, our forum was super busy before Facebook days. And now it's just a huge area with all kinds of information in it that you can search and find. There's not instant gratification, like Mark's not there in 5 seconds, where he might be in 5 seconds in a Facebook group if you know where he's hanging out. But he does come around, and if there's a question in there, I'll tag him or find him somewhere and say, hey, Mark, there's a question there that someone's asking. So yeah, I still like the forum part. I'll be stuck with that forever. I like the forum. It's non-intimidating, and it's just, there's my ring, my Amazon ring. Sorry about that, guys. Someone's at the door delivering something, I'm sure. But yeah, I like the forum and being able to go in there. And you've got a record of things too as well, right? Where you can, not to mention it's private, off the grid. Like basically your client's not going to search you and find your answers, where they will find your answers in different things in Facebook groups and stuff.
Or rants.
Yes. Anything like that.
I've seen a lot of people I've considered hiring, and after seeing their Facebook rants, whether I agree or disagree, just seeing that makes me think twice about hiring them. When I go, I remember putting up a job on VA Network and a few other sites at one stage, and I always check everybody out. I check their website out, I check them out, I check their profiles out, and the minute I see some kind of tension or conflict that's brewing, I don't want to get into this.
Yeah. Tell me, Mark, you've been in business for 10 years or more now, right? What was the single biggest contributor maybe for your large business growth in the past years that changed everything for you?
My largest growth has actually been in this past year, and there was actually a huge shift. I mean, even though I had you as a coach, I had a lot of support, there was something that was wrong with me that I really didn't know was wrong with me. So if you remember back to when we were on the forum, I told you I was really sick one year in terms of a strange feeling that could not work out. Well, that was, since the age of 22, I was actually had some kind of what the doctors call depression, although I don't believe it was depression. And they actually gave me this medication. And one of that medication they gave me was actually an antipsychotic, which I never really needed. So up until last year, and every time I felt really good and had those really creative peaks, that was when I was being naughty and not taking the pill. But then what happened is my body became reliant on that medication, and somehow it's damaged me in terms of I believe with the ability for my body to produce the dopamine on its own. So after coming off that pill last year, my own choice, and I kind of just dropped it because it made me so tired on it. I was always lethargic. If you talk to some of my original friends, I'll say how I had trouble processing and all that. But I thought that was just me being stupid. But off the pill, I've become 100 times more creative. You even talk to the chats I have with Marie here in this group, and we have a lot more laughs now and a lot more creative stuff. My programming has improved so much, and I've learned so much more because of that clearness of head and the ability to process logic better. And actually I've actually started feeling raw emotions in terms of one of the biggest side effects was the inability to feel anything physical or emotional or mental. And it's a really tough story to tell because it's quite fresh right now.
Yeah.
But my copywriting has improved a lot. I knew how to do copywriting before, but without taking this medication, I can tap into that part of the brain that connects with the emotions and understanding. And you hear people throw around this word called, is it empath? But to me, I've always been highly sensitive, and you know that for a fact. And now without the medicine, I'm kind of more in tune, but at the same time, I'm learning now how to deal with emotions. I'm understanding, I'm learning how to, and the other thing is a lot of side effects physically have been caused, which I have to now fix in the coming year. But that has actually led to a huge growth in my business by just dropping that small, it's only 10 milligrams of medicine daily, a lot off the thing.
Well, I'm glad you're finding the resolve to this. And I know it's been a big concern of yours for the past year and stuff. So this is awesome, Mark. I always loved your copywriting. I thought you have been one of the best copywriters. If you guys don't know, if you want to read some good copywriting, sign up to his newsletter for sure. And, check out his copy. But I've never seen any issues with that. I love your copywriting, Mark. And,
Yeah, because we never wrote anything. I was being naughty, not taking the medicine.
well, the cool thing about working virtually too is it does provide an area where you can, if you need to take some time off. Like I know for personal or whatever like that. Like I did take some personal time off when my mom and dad passed and things like that. Like that's why I love working virtually, right? Because there's not someone with a whip over. Well, our clients sometimes are like, whatever, but I can take a day off if I have to for whatever reason it might be. And that's the joys and the freedoms of being able to work from home. And or maybe your schedule's different, you can work in the evenings when you're wide awake. Maybe that's you're a night owl or something like that. And it's kind of cool to be able to put your hours in whenever you want. And that's one of the cool flexibilities of being a VA or being a someone working virtually, offering their services. I want to talk here before we lose anybody here. I want to tell you about Mark is one of our speakers. He spoke with us many times. He keeps coming back because you guys love him, right? You love all his WordPress stuff. And you like to geek out as well as he does, but he's going to be talking about helping you with client attractive WordPress sites. And because if we can't attract clients to our websites, boom, guess what? We're not going to have a bunch of clients. But imagine if your website just went into motion and started working for you. That's what Mark's going to show you a little bit about. And I'm going to throw in his affiliate link here so that you can get a free ticket, a silver ticket, if you use his coupon code MARK20. And hopefully it goes into the chat area there for you guys. But if you want to get in and see the event, come do that. I'm sure you'll want to upgrade and get recordings and all that kind of stuff, but this gets you in so that you can watch every speaker. There's 20 speakers. You can go check them all out at the link in the chat area. I think that link worked okay. Tell me if it didn't, guys. Maybe someone can test it. Maybe you can, Marie, because my VA is not here today. So I'm kind of doing this on the fly and hopefully it works for everyone. But
it does. I've seen that link and it has worked. So
okay,
it should work.
But do sign up with Mark's coupon code. And you didn't see it yet? Facebook user didn't see it yet. Okay, so if someone, where is the link? That's what they keep saying. Give it a second and see if it comes through. And if it doesn't, guys, I will stick it in afterwards. I can see it there, so I'm surprised it's not being seen yet. Let me just look. And I think I can copy it into here too. I'm going to copy it in here and hopefully it will show up for you. Yeah, I'm going to do it this way. I'll have to do this and I'll do it while I'm going to ask you another question, Mark. And then while you're answering that, I will copy and paste it into there for you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Okay. So tell me, Mark, any people that have influenced you along the way?
Oh, well, I'm sure you know you're at the top of the list.
Okay,
That's a given. That's a given.
Take me out of the picture.
I know that's a given. So I'm going to say I'm not going to boost your ego because we know that already. Honestly,
big enough today.
Obviously, the people who have influenced me, the people who I did not realize were influencing me, if that makes sense. it's like the covers have been revealed. So a lot of the people I met along the way, it's not been the gurus per se.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually been the people I've taken the journey with. Like, I can definitely say Marie in this group has been very influential in terms of me helping her and her giving me that dose of confidence boosting. She joined me, her and I joined on the forum a while ago, and she and I become accountability partners. And it's been a very important aspect. Every time, like, I wake up, she's there. Every time I go to sleep, she's there. Sometimes you think you can't get rid of her, then you realize just how much you miss her when she's not there. So I'm just teasing you, Marie, but she's been really influential in giving me a simple perspective on not overthinking and just accepting my worth. I think Karen said she's in this group. She's also been very helpful. I met her somewhere along the journey. I think she was in VA classroom or something. I'm not 100% sure. And, Karen and Marie are actually now helping me on my own team now this year. So I can say they've been pretty influential. There'll be some other people along the way. I'm not going to embarrass them and mention them because, I don't know if they want to be mentioned. But basically, the people who took the journey with me, and it might be at different or levels than me or same level, whatever, but they're all had my back. I should also mention there were some coaches like Nicole Dean, who was one of the best coaches I ever had, on top of you, which we won't mention you or keep you out of this. She understood me from a point of view of the emotion side as well as the business. She understood me. And the funny thing is, she pinged me not so long ago on Facebook, and it seems she was worried about disturbing me, but I was worried about disturbing her. So there was this not pinging each other. Because I'm always thinking, if you're successful like Nicole Dean, why would you want to ping me? Because I have this inferiority complex. I am getting over it this year. Marie's kind of helping me through that because she's been doing Marie has a mindset coaching background, and I've been trading and helping her with some of the technical stuff.
Cool. I did put the link in there while you were talking. I think it went in there. Tell me, guys, if it did. And if not, you're going to have to wait until I get back over here. And I think it went in there because I went over and looked at, and the Facebook user in there is Karen. Hi, Karen.
I will check the
Facebook user. Yes. I don't know why, but
I can see it. I can see the chat.
It now? Cool.
No, I can see the chat. I can't see all the comments until I click on 36 comments. I think they're not all coming through at once. It seems like I don't have to say everybody see this, but it seems like the top comments are being kept and the bottom ones are being cut off. I don't know if that's
okay. Well, someone can maybe Marie, you can maybe copy that stuff in there. But come to the conference, to my VA Summit, guys. Mark is speaking there. I don't know which day exactly he's speaking, but it runs from 25th to 29th. He's going to be talking about how to create your client attracting web pages with WordPress. And we all know how important that is, having a client attractive website. So I'm excited about that. He mentioned Nicole Dean. Actually, Nicole's speaking at our event as well. So, pop in and check out. There's 20 amazing speakers. Not to mention, if you upgrade with Mark's link there, you're going to get, guess what, 5,000 in swag. We've got this is my 20th season, Mark. So we've got a ton of swag out there for you guys. And these are 40 plus premium training tools and courses. You'll also get the recordings and the notes if the speakers have notes. But either way, I want you to attend. You can get in for free with Mark's coupon code there and his affiliate link, and at least attend live 20 sessions. That's 20 hours of training. So I'm really excited. But Mark, in the last few minutes we got here, what advice might you want to give to people that are thinking of doing a virtual career like you? Or, maybe you not advice, maybe you just want to share a little nugget or something like that for people looking to maybe get into the web development side of it instead of, into the technical sides of working virtually?
I think, at least when you're getting started, I think the biggest mistake I see people make is trying to complicate things. They
Mm-hmm.
take multiple courses and the courses actually complicate things further. And then they think they need to get all the ducks in a row. They kind of look, when they say building the website, they're looking for things like, how do I create my vision and my mission, and things that don't necessarily need to be important to that iteration of launching.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some people would say it sound funny coming from me, but sometimes when you're actually in the pre-validation stage, or you might actually just need to talk to people on LinkedIn and say, would you be interested in this, and then build a website around it. So I'd say just don't overcomplicate things, because that can slow you down a lot. Don't look for the best way to do this. You talk about having an emergency operations procedure. I mean, that's good, but it will come.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these things will come. You've got to choose where you start with, because you can run the risk of just overcomplicating it. I think you've seen that too. You just say, your favorite quote is like, suck it up, buttercup. Just do it. I say, like, squat, it's time to squat or get off the pot, stop thinking and just start doing it. I had a friend who said, oh, I don't think I'm prepared. I haven't planned enough for this year. And I said, I think the problem is you plan too much. And that's why she wasn't doing anything. She was frozen.
Yeah. I see it all the time. Like, people will say, well, I don't have a bookkeeping program yet to do my books or whatever. Heck, here's a bookkeeping program for you. Write all your sales down, or put them better off in a spreadsheet or a Google sheet or something, and have your sales on one page and your operational expenses on another page. That's all your accountant needs. It doesn't have to be difficult, right? Like, exactly. We don't have to have all these. I don't want to put any names out there, but we don't have to have a project management tool. We don't have to have a bookkeeping program. A lot of these things have just come out in the last few years, where before we organized with our daily planners, right? And different things like that. Once you get a team going or more people working for you, then those things do come into play. It makes automating your business down the road is a great idea. But, in the beginning, KISS method, that's caring. Keep it simple, silly. Yeah, I think it used to be keep it simple, stupid, but now we shouldn't say that. So it's keep it simple, silly, or something like that.
Somebody said sweetheart, but that's a bit derogatory too. Keep it simple, sweetheart, and I read in the government.
Sweetheart, still, it's so hard. We got to be careful with all the different things we say nowadays. But
I just want to say one thing to build on that about the text question you also asked. Sometimes you might have if you have a little bit of tech training and you want to take it further, I suggest it might be, you told me this might be worthwhile considering interning. And I know you used to have a website where you called VA interning, where you teach people, I don't know if you teach people how to intern or you'd show people, but there's opportunities out there, if it comes to that, with confidence, to intern with somebody at a lower rate, and you're actually learning stuff and getting access to their stuff. I think there's a lot of people in the industry, I mean, not just yourself, but who have actually offered internships. So that might be another way if you're feeling you need to build those skills and maybe trade some dollars and use time instead. That could be a way to, get a boost.
Yeah, definitely. And it builds your confidence too, right? Because a lot of us are just scared starting out virtually. We don't, we're scared. We don't know if we're doing it right. And working underneath someone else for a little while can break that barrier for you, definitely. And remember, you don't need to know everything and anything. Like can't think of anything WordPress related at the moment. I would like to do that because that's your specialty. But let's just say you don't know MailChimp, or you don't know ActiveCampaign, or whatever it is, some type of email marketing. Don't worry about it until a client asks you to learn that, because you may never, ever be asked to learn that, right? And
exactly.
And it is something that all of the websites now, you don't even have to take courses anymore. All of the websites have great tutorials on them. I mean, WordPress, you could learn WordPress through the WordPress documentation, right? You don't necessarily have to take a course, but you know, that's when you're getting more extensive and diving into deeper stuff. Yeah. But if you're interested in WordPress, stick around, hang with Mark. Mark is at, I'm going to put up his website again so you can pop over and say hi to him. He's at markofapproval.com. And, you know, get over there, join up to his newsletter, stick around him, follow him on his social networks. I'm sure all his links are there. But Mark, I'm really excited for you to speak with us at VAVS at my VAvirtuoso Summit, the end of the month, October 25th to 29th. You guys all have a ticket to get in for free for a silver ticket. And I'm pretty sure that is all in the chat area. If you scroll up, it'll be there. Oh, thank you, Marie. She stuck it back in there for us. But you can get a silver ticket in and watch all 20 speakers, including Mark, at the end of the month here. Make sure you sign up right away, though, because that coupon code does expire on the 17th in 5 days. So if you want to get in for free, there you go. That's how you do it. And I'm excited. I'm thrilled to have you, Mark, and thanks for speaking with me today.
Thank you, Tony. It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah, it's been great getting to know you a little bit more. Every time we talk, we get to know each other a little bit more, so that's really cool. Okay, guys, see you all at the summit. Mark and I will both be there together with 18 other speakers and thousands of people registering for it, because this is our 20th season, so you'll want to go check it out. All right, guys, see you soon.